Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing fine. I have an exam that I have to do though after the session, so if it ends early, fine by me.
Okay. I also have somewhere to go after the session, which technically it starts right as the session ends, so leaving
Oh,
early is an option, depending on how things go.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I guess I'm fine.
Okay, I guess I'm glad. You sound unsure.
It's just been one of those weeks, you know.
Mm-hmm. I feel you.
Pew, 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 pew,
What?
pew,
Pew?
pew, pew.
What's happening? Hi. Hi, Kat. Welcome.
Hi, Kit Kat.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Does anyone remember where we left off in the initiative order?
just what?
Anyone remember where we left off in the initiative order? I didn't check that. I'll have to
I feel like that was the most important thing
1 second.
of all the things to check.
I'll watch back the video.
DJ, just for educational reasons, am I still prone? Because I
Yes.
remember I became unprone, but am I reproned?
How is that
Yeah,
educational?
I'll go over in the recap 1 second.
Alright, sorry, for uneducational purposes, please let me know.
Yes, you are currently prone, but I'll be more specific in a second.
Uneducational. She's going to become dumber after finding
Oh.
out the information.
Hey,
Okay, I
I go to
remember.
Jupiter to get more stupider.
Okay, I have found the information that I sought. So, welcome everyone to Dungeons and Dragons once again with an actual dungeon and an actual dragon for once. That never happens.
You Sea of Thieves?
What?
You saw it? You Sea of Thieves? You saw it. You Sea of Thieves.
I don't even get that.
I said Dungeons and Dragons. I don't have a clue how that has anything to do with Sea of Thieves or seeing anything.
I wasn't listening, so I can't help.
I'm just gonna accept that it's a clever joke and move on because I am too stupid to understand apparently.
Rip.
It's okay. One day you'll see these thieves. Got him.
These leaves.
These sleeves.
This is another reference I apparently do not understand.
Funny pumpkin.
Okay.
Gotta think for yourself. You can't just agree with all the jokes that I make. Come on. I know that I have the correct humor.
There's a correct humor versus an incorrect humor?
Oh, you're so funny and right, Pumpkin. I love you.
Oh dear.
Only two of those things were true.
Do I get to decide?
You may.
Oh dear. Let's see, what kind of music do we want for this epic combat?
Cotton Eye Joe.
Nom 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 nom.
I'm not sure I have that one. How's that?
Can we do safety dance?
Safety chance. Well, anyway. When we last left off our adventuring party, they had infiltrated the bowels of Colville's Ash, a long-forgotten castle with quite a lot of destruction that has already taken place in the castle, which they only added to when Ananias decided to break off a piece of the broken weave itself, causing the tower to explode and send her, or him, they, falling into a briny cavern down below, where they discovered that in addition to the mysterious shadow creatures that apparently are the only remaining occupants of the castle, they also discovered living in the basement a full-on black dragon, which Kuthith apparently grappled onto the front of and is just holding on for dear life, though he is still frightened.
While being terrified of it.
He is frightened of the dragon, yet he's still clinging on for dear life as he is flown throughout the chamber. The cloak that Mama Swizzle noticed is still floating in the briny waters after a surge of liquid has kind of emanated from the ground and then washed Mama Swizzle and Ananias into the water, knocking them both prone and pulling them out into the deep water, but not submerging them completely. They're just floating on the surface of the water at this point while Shadow tries to pull them back. Shadow had used his paladin lay on hands to raise Ananias back up, so she is conscious again. He is conscious again. They are conscious again. And the other NPCs are scattered around the room trying to take ranged attacks at the creature. Gohan, I believe, is frightened and is over in the corner here, very dangerously close to the walls. The shadows are encircling around the outer walls of the chamber, not stepping on the briny floor, but yet blocking off the escape routes and waiting hungrily for a chance to attack anyone who draws near. And finally, I believe, there's one other thing I wanted to say that I don't remember. Oh, yes, Mama Swizzle discovered, ruining the horror-filled Halloween-themed session that I had in mind where, oh, there's no way to stop these things. Mama Swizzle cleverly discovered the weakness, or a weakness, that these shadow creatures have by dumping water on one of them and causing it to more or less dissolve into nothing with a shriek. And with that...
I'm gonna keep on looking for these other weaknesses.
With that, we return back to combat at the top of the round. The dragon's turn. So the dragon, still with Kuthith on its face, is going to, first and foremost, attempt to shake him off. I need my dice for this, that would be helpful.
Can I disagree with the dragon?
Roll strength, my dude.
18. Wait, +2. So 20. Dirty 20.
Unfortunately, Dragon is a strong boy and he rolled better than you. So, Kuthith, you are thrown from the dragon's mouth and go flying into the water over here near this cloak. Let's see, that's about 20 feet up, which is 2d6 of fall damage.
I have slow fall though.
Oh, true. How many times can you use that ability, or is that just
It's
any time?
infinite. It's
Oh,
you just
nice.
have to use your reaction.
That's great. Cool. So that is 5 damage total from
Minus
2d6.
25. So I heal 20.
If only that's how that worked. Imagine you just like run up the stairs and jump off repeatedly to heal yourself forever. Okay, so with your monk reflexes, you kind of do a flip thing and land,
That
skidding
was the
across.
reason why I jumped down the spiral staircase at first. I thought it would heal me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I have wisdom, so it's happened before in the past. I just didn't have the intelligence for it.
That's amazing. So you skid to a stop across the slick stone floor, coming to a stop right beside this cloak that's floating lazily in the water channel behind you. And the dragon will then use its movement to just kind of fly around above you, about 20 feet above your head. Just kind of getting a lay of the battlefield. He snarls angrily, narrowing his eyes, and he seems to look up at the ceiling, noticing that his previous entrance and exit from this chamber, the large opening, has now been collapsed in by the entire tower, filling it with a giant pile of rocks, thereby more or less trapping the dragon in this chamber. And you may notice just a slight hint of fear before it's immediately replaced by fury, and the dragon roars, "You think I'm trapped in here with you? You
can speak?
are trapped in here with me!" Yes. Dragons are fiercely intelligent, and most of them can speak unless
Yeah,
they're
but
very
Q-Seath is clearly racist.
Clearly racist.
Okay, so the dragon's gonna kind of like, in his flying, drag his wing kind of across some of the stalactites and begin to cause some collapses, blocking off an entrance, or one of the exits of the cave over on this side, which obviously I can't put rocks to demonstrate, but this way out is blocked with rocks as he flies along. And that is the end of the dragon's turn for now. So, Mama Swizzle, you are up. You're currently floating in the water again, which last time you were in this particular puddle not too long ago, you were struggling to swim and almost drowning. Luckily, this time you're not trying to drag Ananias with you. What would you like to do? I will point out you took a short rest before you entered Colville's Ash, so you do have your wild shapes if you need them.
Alright, I can turn into a fish.
You could. Although that might not be helpful with a flying dragon at this particular moment, but you never know.
Well,
He
first
just
I'd like to
becomes the
make my way
Kraken.
to the cloak I saw floating in the water.
Okay. Since I guess I'd just call it you're swimming right now.
Mama Sizzle has like no worry about combats. It's just like, I'm just gonna walk over and explore.
I think the rule for swim speed is that it halves your movement speed, unless you wanted to use a wild shape to become a swimming creature or a creature that can swim in order to boost that speed.
Not yet. I do have a plan.
Okay. I'll say just by straight swimming, you can manage to get probably about here. I'll knock you down. There you go.
Oh no, I've been knocked down.
That's probably about as far as you
I
can get.
know
Your
within-
movement speed's 25, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This water is luckily shallower. It's not like, it's like 5 feet deep or something. So still taller than you, but it's not like the endless chasm of water that's in the center of the room. What would you like to do with the rest of your turn?
I'll make my action to ready some whatchamacallit, stone. Wait, don't I have a couple already pre-made?
Yep, you already cast Magic
Oh.
Stone to prepare a couple stones, or you could use your fingers. They're already glowing magically, ready to be yeeted.
One second. What's the distance of 60 feet? It's Healing Ward. I'd like to prepare Healing Ward to heal anyone who gets attacked near me by the dragon.
Okay. And that's a range of 60 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. The dragon's turn has already happened, but I guess if he does use a legendary action, which he could, then yeah. You might
Well, he
start
still
to-
has an action before me next time, too.
That's true. That's true. Alright. So you're holding your action to heal anyone who gets attacked. Sounds good.
Yes.
If they're within range.
Yes.
Okay, QZeth, you're up. What would you like to do?
Well, my thing is punching, so how close am I to it?
Well, at the dragon's current speed and distance, he's moving away from you and he's about 60 feet away, I'd say. Plus he's
Okay.
20 feet off the ground.
yeah, out of my range, obviously.
Yeah. You do have
Am
a
I
javelin,
terrified of
though.
it anymore? Do I have to roll to be unterrified?
Technically, yes, you're still terrified unless you, at the end of your turn, you can redo the saving throw, DC 16 Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, it's at the end of my turn?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I can't move towards it. but I suppose I can throw things at it.
Yep.
Um,
You do have that javelin,
you said it
I
was
believe.
60 feet away.
Yes, plus 20 feet of height, so it's a little bit farther
Okay,
than 60
that's
technically.
barely within the range of my javelin. But yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'll go ahead and
Sure. It's
throw
with
it.
disadvantage because of the fear.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Well, I'm just gonna be losing my javelin that I worked so hard for, right?
Yeah, you can grab it again, or use it as a like sticking out of the side of the dragon. Just use it as like a exercise or a
Yeah, it'll be a
gymnastic
way
pole.
to like latch on or something. Yeah, there's things, but that's if I hit it. Otherwise I'm gonna have to use it to get up the wall. I had other plans with it as well. Anyway,
Hey, you do your thing. I was
There's
just offering
24.
suggestions. You don't have to listen to me.
It's a 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
AC is 18.
Nice, Sue. D6, D6.
66? What a javelin.
No, I said D6.
Okay.
9 damage.
Nice. Okay. Does this
And
curse excel in all its forms.
yeah.
Okay.
Now I roll to no longer be afraid. I got nothing else I can do.
Wait, did you say 9 damage or 11?
It's 9 damage.
Okay, I can't really math. Sorry. Continue.
Roll the dice to no longer afraid. Oh.
What'd you get? Not enough.
Let's see it's a saving throw of what?
Wisdom.
Does 10 work?
No, it's a DC 16 wisdom saving throw. Ananias, you're up unless you want to use any movement cues. So yeah, the javelin as you throw it.
Wait a
it's-
second.
it's-
Actually, I will. I'm going to run to the opposite. Am I able to like climb up on anything?
Yes.
Like, can I climb up on those?
There's stairs, there's rock piles, there's all kinds of things that you can
Yeah, I'd like
use
to
climb.
get as high as I can.
Okay.
Climb up those stairs. I think.
This rock pile's pretty
off the wall.
tall.
Yeah.
What draws your
Whichever the closest thing is to me that I can get the highest with.
fancy? Okay. Probably the easiest and closest thing would be these stairs. You could get up about this
Yeah.
high. Although there
Climb
are
up to the top of
shadows
it.
kind of on the wall here. And the ground here is not covered in briny water, so it looks like they're actually like able to traverse this area.
Okay. Well then, how about that other wall?
Okay.
Because I would not go towards them. Yeah.
Sure. So like up on this bony ledge or something?
Yeah, I'd love to be on that ledge. Yeah.
Sure. Could I just have you make a dexterity check? Not too difficult
Of course.
for this particular
Okay.
climb, because there's lots and lots of
We
handholds
love the
and
low
footholds,
rolls.
but they're
We
the
love the low
What'd you
rolls.
get?
An 11.
Okay. I'll say you struggle. You're slowed down a little bit, and you get maybe halfway up, but you could still kind of
Okay.
get up the
I'm
rest on your
halfway.
next turn.
Lemon and
the
pear.
loose stones
Gotcha.
kind of shift and tumble beneath your feet as you're attempting to climb.
Yeah. Just slip it in the slide. I mean, still terrified, so it makes sense.
Okay, Ananias, you're jolted awake by, a feeling of health being infused into your body by Shadow, and
Nice.
he's got a sword raised as he's looking, like, ragefully with seething hatred at this dragon flying by, but he just kind of growls and grunts as you're, conscious again, only for you to be washed back into the water, floating on your back in the pool. What would you like to do?
So I'm still floating on my back. Can I see what's going on?
Yeah.
If you open your eyes.
Yeah,
Okay,
As
cool.
long as your hood's not like falling into your eyes or anything, or yeah, you'll be able to see.
All
Still
right.
have the staff clutched in your hand.
What's closest to me?
Water. There's water all around you, but there's rocks on the edge of the water that you can.
What
swim to.
creature's closest to me?
There's only the dragon, like as far as enemies go. Shadow is nearby, closest creature, but he's friendly.
How close am I to the edge? Like, can I crawl out?
Yeah, I'd say you're about 10 feet from any wall of the water.
Okay, I'd like to swim out.
Okay, sure. You make it to the edge of the pool. It would probably take half of your movement, I'd say, to climb out of the pool and stand up.
Okay, cool. Where is the dragon? How close is it to me? Just wondering.
It is, I would say, from the edge of the pool, if you get out on the side closest to it, you'd be about 40 feet away, 30 feet away, something like that. If you got out on the far side, it would be more like 60 feet.
Okay. Well, let's say I went out on the closer side.
Okay, sure. It's not quite what I wanted, but that works for me. So
What do you
yeah.
mean it's not what you wanted?
Well, just because you're like up on top of the rocks, but
Oh
I
no,
meant for you to
that's
be
how I
kind of...
climbed out. I'm really. That's why it took so much movement speed.
Yeah. Oh no!
Big
Okay, I
step.
dropped you down into the abyss of doom.
And
Rip.
because EJ moved it on the map, it means it happened in the game.
I was trying
you
to
know?
place you between
No
the
take
rocks.
backsies.
No take backsies.
I don't know how to find you. I can't even see you. Great. So yeah, you're between these rocks. What would you like to do while I try to fix the technical difficulties here?
Let me pull up. What was the site I used? D&D Beyond.
Yes.
Sorry, I closed it for a second because I was also doing homework.
Oh my.
Okay, wait.
lords.
What's my new health so I can update it?
Your health should be 5 HP currently.
Okay.
It should already be that technically.
I'm trying to see what my spells are, but I'm on the online version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
that makes it easier to see what your spells are.
it makes it easier. I don't see it though.
There should be a tab on your character.
Yeah, that was pretty easy.
Okay. I'm glad. You also have inspiration, apparently. Yay.
Oh,
Do
I'm
you remember what that
inspired?
does?
It means I can do something cool, right?
More or less. So at any point you
like
want to
add-
use your inspiration, you can just basically decide to give yourself advantage on a roll.
Yep.
Or re-roll
Okay.
it for a better chance.
Don't you have to just no, you don't have to decide to do
Okay.
it before.
What hit me that knocked me prone?
The dragon kind of nodded his head and caused, like, through some kind of magical means, the water in this chamber to surge upward and kind of pull you into the water.
Question: can I hellish rebuke after I've been knocked prone? Once I'm awake. Just wondering.
I think technically, since this was an environmental effect that actually like knocked you down, I don't think that would qualify as, you know,
I could
hellish
hellish
rebuke
rebuke
worthy.
the water, but okay.
Burn water.
In that case, I would like to Eldritch Blast at 3rd level.
Okie doke. At 3rd level, you can do that.
What? I can't. I think you can upcast it. It's a cantrip, right?
It is. Let's see. It doesn't say that it can be upcast.
What? I'm.
What
no,
would it
no.
even
It says
do being
the spell
upcast?
creates more than one beam when you reach higher levels.
Yes, but that doesn't
But-
mean at a higher level spell. That just means when you
Gotcha.
yourself level up. So you're currently 5th level, which means that it does shoot 2 beams, which can do basically twice as much damage or hit twice as many targets. But it, yeah. So it'll still be just a basic casting.
I am horrified, but cool. Okay. Let's see what else I want to do.
You also have the staff that you could choose to try to do something with if you'd like.
Yes, I'm gonna use that during my inspiration though.
During your inspiration. I'm not sure that's how
But I don't-
inspiration works.
I mean, technically I am inspired.
You are inspired, yes. You're being very creative.
I'm I'm feeling quite inspired.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel very inspired at this second, so I just want to normally Eldritch Blast him.
Sure. Okay. So you fire 2 blasts of Eldritch energy using your same kind of, technique that you've trained in, and instead of just 1, 2 beams of crackling energy streak towards the dragon as it's flying past you and hit very similarly to the same spot that the javelin is still embedded in the creature's scales, and you just kind of like twist and bend that javelin, causing it to dig even deeper. Go ahead and roll to hit with a ranged spell attack. Do 2 of them technically, since you get to fire 2 beams at this level.
All right. I got a nat 20 as well as a 7. What is the plus on that? Is it hit DC I add to it or what?
You roll your ranged spell attack modifier, so that is a +5 for
Plus
you.
5.
Yeah, so that's
Okay,
a nat
so
20
I got
plus 5.
a 25 and then a 11.
Okay, the 11 does not hit, so one of your Eldritch Blasts kind of shatters some stone which tumble down along the cave wall behind the dragon, but the other hits squarely like I discussed and, causes the dragon quite a bit of pain. Go ahead and roll 1d10 and then double the dice roll because of the nat 20. I'm also going to look up a crit table again because I think those are fun.
What do you mean? You mean roll it twice or what?
No, you roll 1d10 and then whatever you get, just double that number.
I got a 7, so that's 14.
Nice, okay. That's 14 damage to the dragon. And let's also roll me a d100 to see if that nat 20 does something real cool.
Okay. I hope it doesn't kill me. Roll. Oh, this is the nat 20 roll 100. Right. It's not the nat 1 roll 100.
No. Why my computer is dying on me.
89.
Ooh. 89. Roll an additional set of damage dice above and beyond the normal critical roll. So, go ahead and roll 1 more d10.
Just additional set? You mean 1 more die?
Yep.
Alright, I rolled a 4.
Okay, so 4 more damage to the dragon.
Nice.
And that is your movement and your action. Do you have anything to do with your bonus action, or should we move on to the shadows writhing along the walls, still gnashing their silent teeth and, wailing with soundless screams as they kind of continue to move around the chamber? One gets buried by the collapsing rocks, but just kind of slips through the cracks between them and escapes unharmed. And Gohan is still frightened by the dragon, but he takes his... no, I don't think he would want to throw his only weapon. He...
Yeah, he's not me.
He... Oh, yeah, I forgot. I should probably pay attention to the fact that he's very near the wall. So one of the shadows is actually going to try to attack him. Yep. So, I'm not sure who would be able to pay attention to this during, the combat in the darkness, but Johan is attacked by the shadow, which kind of rakes its shadowy fingers across his chest, and you see it leave behind kind of a black inky residue upon his flesh, and he cries out in pain, but that is all that transpires. And then on his turn, he's going to try to swipe at the creature, but his blade just passes through it and clinks against the stone, and then he decides he doesn't want to be next to it anymore and moves a little farther away from both the dragon and the shadow, and it gets an opportunity attack on him, which fails as it tries to grab out with phantasmic fingers and fails. Gohan is safe for the moment. We move on to Abigail, the maid, who is also frightened and also near a shadow. She is also attacked by the shadows, which have previously already kind of marked her and injured her. Once again, she's kind of grabbed and held in place a little bit by these ghostly fingers, and she attempts to wrench herself away as well, but finds herself unable to. She's just going to spend her entire turn trying to, grapple away from the creature. Vextra is apparently right under the dragon at this point. She's going to try to kick off of this wall and jump up onto the dragon, which is quite a height, but we'll see how it goes. Surprisingly enough, it seems that she manages, so she just barely manages to catch the dragon's tail and stab into it with her dagger to kind of hold herself in place and just enable flying briefly. So she's just kind of flailing wildly as the dragon continues flying, almost bashing her into a wall as she goes, and causing her blade to sink in deeper into the dragon's tail as she flies along. The dude with a bow continues to try to shoot at the dragon, aiming for the neck, but unfortunately his shot goes wide and simply plinks along the ceiling, and with a pitiful little wooden arrow stick sound clattering onto the stones below, an arrow rains down right next to Shadow, who simply attempts to position himself away from the range of the dragon, as he seems to lack a suitable weapon for ranged combat. At this point, the dragon once again nods his head with a roar that shakes the entire chamber, and anyone who's standing near the water is in danger of being pulled deeper into it as the water once again surges forth across the battlefield, kind of washing away items and objects that are within the streams and then kind of pulling them back deeper into it. Mama Swizzle, you're caught by the surge and pushed forward and then pulled back again by a riptide, ending up almost exactly in the same spot you were in. The cloak, meanwhile, gets kind of pushed out of the water and then ends up a little closer to you than it was before. And I hit the wrong key. There we go.
How dare you hit the wrong key.
So yeah, it's much closer to you now. That is everything, so we're back up to the dragon at this point. He is still, for the moment, in a blind rage, just kind of scraping along the edge of the chamber, causing massive rock slides and collapses of stalagmites and stalactites specifically, as he's going. And at this point, both this guy and this girl almost get crushed by rocks that are falling from the ceiling. They manage to just barely kind of fall, more or less, rather than dodge out of the way, as enormous boulders fall right where they had been standing moments prior, and they're forced away from the wall. Then the dragon continues on, trying to slam his tail into this like twisted metal cage to try to get rid of the poor NPC on his tail, and she does not manage to withstand his nat 20, and she just goes flying into the twisted metal of the cage, slamming down to the ground in a heap. Yeah, she doesn't look so good. You can see large cuts across her body.
Is she close enough for me to cast a healing spell?
I don't think she's within 60
Oh, sure,
feet
cast
of
a
you.
healing spell on the NPC.
She is incredibly far away from you, so no, I don't think would trigger.
Alright.
Not your teammate who was literally unconscious, or your other teammate who's bloodied.
Yeah, well, at this point, it might be good to save the healing for when someone goes down, so you can pop them back up as well.
Yeah.
Because the dragon does a lot of damage, and everyone's already low. Let's
Yes.
see. Okay. You can see the dragon kind of like gurgling as you know, as though he's like trying to recharge his acid breath, but it's not yet ready. And we'll say that that is that for now. Mama Swizzle, you are up again. You are right beside the cloak, more or less, which I can't see because the freaking thing won't be kind to me.
I would like to grab the cloak.
Okay. You grab this cloak that's floating in the water, and it seems to be made of some kind of fine, silky linen that, as you hold it, you can just kind of feel that it is more than just the natural fibers. It is some kind of magical treasure item of some kind, and it appears to be kind of decorated nicely as though it's like a manta ray kind of design about it. The hood being like the top part of the manta ray, and then it kind of flows down with a tail to complete the look. And it's got some strange patches on this cloak as well. Patches with symbols like a wooden ladder and an iron door and other various bits and bobs. And these patches are kind of held on just very loosely with a couple of threads. So if you were to yank them off, the threads would break and you would be left with the patch hanging or in your hand off of the cloak itself. I can give you a list of all the patches on it if you would like to write them down. Would you like me to tell you right now so you can write them down quickly?
Oops. Okay.
Okay. Here's a list of the patches. There is a dagger. There's a bullseye lantern. A steel mirror. 10-foot pole. Rope. A sack. A iron door. A ladder. A horse.
Wow, there's a lot of patches.
It looks like a whole symbol. You see a potion of healing. A rowboat.
Guys, this is
And a
Diego's
window.
backpack. It turns into one of his patches.
Diego's back. I've never watched an episode of Diego, so I don't understand.
He has his backpack can turn into whatever he needs at the time. He's like, Diego, I need a. Or the backpack goes, backpack, 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 backpack. Who's the one that you should call when you don't know the way to go? But it's not like the map. It's like it can turn into different things. Where the map can show you the way, this one like gives you the ability to cross or something.
Huh. Neat.
So rope.
Okay, we were on rowboat.
Yeah. Rowboat and then a window is the last one. I
Alright,
can tell
thank
you
you.
all those again if you missed any, but yeah, that is what you find the cloak to be. Yeah. What would you like to do?
I have no clue what to do with this thing at the moment.
You don't
I
have
put
to
it
use
on.
it. Alright,
I
you
put it
get the
on.
feeling that you feel like you can you feel a magical effect kind of wash over you a little bit, but at this moment you don't notice any particular effects about it.
Well, I'll make my way closer to. No, I had an idea earlier. Okay, so now I'll wild shape into a fish, a goldfish.
A goldfish?
Yes.
Mama Swizzle just leaving.
Okay, yeah, you become just a teeny tiny fish in this big pond.
And then I want to go down in the pond and look around to see if there's anything worthwhile down there.
Sure, okay. I'm not sure exactly what the stats are for a goldfish because I've never run one, but I'll say that
I'm
you get
looking at it
increased
right now.
movement speed just for the sake of, you know, letting you check this out. Let me remove the darkness real quick, and just so we can see, I'll show you the water being gone so that we can actually tell what's down there. So, you little goldfish flounder. Oh no. We'll just kind of move ourselves down here a little bit. You see, you're higher than this right now because, you you can't swim all that far. But you see the glint of some shining golden items far down below in this underwater chamber. That's probably as far as you can get with your movement to this point.
Alright. Well, I'll end my turn then.
Okie dokie. And with that, we'll move back up to that. Everybody else.
Literally went up.
Yep. So QZeth, you are up. You're currently climbing the wall over here. Yep.
Yes.
Would you like to
Yes.
complete the?
Yeah, I'll
Climb.
complete the climb.
Okay, roll me another dex. Nah, it's fine. You'll make it up there, whether or not, unless you crit fail. But you'll make it up there one way or another, more or less. Feel free to roll a dex check just to make sure it's not a nat one.
I got a 5, so it's not a net
Yeah,
one.
you're good. So you clamber the rest of the way up onto this platform that's kind of like higher, elevated. Are you still planning to basically jump on the dragon once you get close? You can save your actions
Yes,
for that.
that's the main idea.
Okay.
Like looking around on this ledge, is like there any like escapes?
Let's see. So currently there appears to be a way out to the southwest over here,
So I passed it,
And-
yeah.
and the stairway with the
Yeah, with all
shadows.
the ghosty boys.
Yeah, there's also a hidden chamber there. It looks like perhaps just another room, but may or may not
Chamber,
be an,
okay.
an escape. Those seem to be the main ones that are not yet blocked off. These ones
Okay.
appear to be already kind of dead ends with just
Yeah.
a bunch of bones.
And then, yeah, and then the dragon, it's where relative to me? Like how far away is it?
It's on its way counterclockwise around the chamber.
Okay.
Coming quick.
And it's knocking over the stalactites and stuff. So like it, yeah. Is there? I'd like to I'd like to use my rope. Is there anything that I can like lash my rope onto, like above me?
Yes, although it might be difficult to kind of get the rope to stick on these stalactites that are kind of pointed downward.
Yeah,
You'd have to
just
like
pointed
get a
down.
really good,
And that's
hook
what they're
on
knocking
something.
over, right? Like the stalactites and stuff.
more or less, yes.
Okay.
It's knocking down stalactites, parts of the wall, whatever it can, as it's kind of flying by.
Okay, yeah. I'd just like to I'll lash the rope onto one of the stalactites, but I'm not gonna like try and climb onto it or anything. I just want to have it fastened to one.
Sure. So once again, these are kind of like downward
Yeah, they're
spikes.
pointed down and stuff.
So how are you
So
gonna?
just like
hook
I'm
it
gonna
on
tie like a slip knot, like toss it up, and then like as it gets to like the top of the stalactite, I'm gonna pull on it so that it tightens the knot and hopefully like latches on right
Okay.
onto it.
I'd probably call that a difficult thing to do, so it might be like a DC 18 dex check. Still want to
Okay.
try to do that?
Yeah, I mean, nothing better to do.
Okay. So
What
that would take your action, not you wouldn't still be able to save it for jumping on the dragon when he passes by.
Hmm.
You could also.
And
you
this
still have
would be-
movement
this
left,
would-
so you
this-
could get closer if you wanted to.
What kind of roll would this be? Just like
Dex.
dex. Okay. I mean, I'm so good with dex. Just straight up dex.
If you wanted, it could be a sleight of hand, but
Yeah, I
Still
don't think
dex.
that helps me too much.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that doesn't help me at all. Well, I'm gonna roll.
mm-hmm. Okay.
No, it was so close, wasn't it? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I got a 11 total, so not successful.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. All right, so you throw your rope, and it doesn't manage to catch, and it just kind of falls limply to the ground, where you can reel it in. And try again if you would like.
Oh yeah, I could just. Yeah, I'll try again.
Well, not now. You've
No,
used your turn
I
already.
use my
Ananias,
I use my
you're up.
I use my extra action.
So Ananias, in the collapsing of rocks ahead
No,
of
no,
you.
no. But can I also try and stop being afraid?
Oh yes, roll your
Thank you.
save for that. I forgot about that.
Wisdom, right?
He's
Yes.
legitimately shaking right now.
I got
and
a
you're trying to
dirty
make fun of
20.
me.
Dirty 20. Yes, you are no longer frightened, and you will not be frightened by this dragon anymore. for
Okay.
the
And you
next
sure
24
I
hours.
can't use a bonus action?
To do what? To try the rope thing again?
To try and re-rope, yes.
If anything, I would say your bonus action got used by creating the slip knot. So
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah. Alrighty, Ananias, you are up. What would you like to do?
Yeah, what I would like to do. You want to know what I'd like to do? I'll tell you what I'd like to do.
I would love to know what you would love to do.
I would like to do, not love. Well, I'd like. I'm gonna tell you what I'd like to do, not what I'd love to do.
Okay.
Okay. So. Does the dragon look like it's about to attack anyone? Who's it near?
Well, it just absolutely pummeled the one who's in a guard outfit, the disguise-centric rogue one, who just flew through this cage and ended up in a heap. It
I think
just
the next person it's coming at is me.
yeah, it's kind of flying around the chamber, just trying to like smash rocks and block off the exits so that you guys can't escape at this point.
That's really quirky of it.
Yep, it's so quirky. It's definitely not murderous and hungry or something.
How big is the entire cavern?
What?
How big is the entire cavern?
Ooh, I'd say maybe 200 feet diameter, something like that. It's kind of
Okay.
lumpy, but yeah, 250 feet diameter, something like that in total.
250. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see.
Somewhere between 200 and 250, I would say.
What I want to do, I cannot do yet.
Okay.
Unless you want me to be creative.
That's
can-
all we want you to do.
You can do whatever you want to do. I just
I
make the
can do
world
whatever I
happen.
want to do. I can't do things that I don't know how to do yet, unless I try.
Hey,
Okay,
you do have
You're free to try.
a rawer connection to the weave than, most other spellcasters, so you can attempt to do something creative if you want, although the chances of it backfiring are high.
I know they are, which is exciting. I would like to. While I'm on this rock, I just want to dramatically stab my staff into the ground just because I think it looks cool, and I hold myself up on it because I'm feeling pretty weak and I can't really stand too well on my own. I'm on 5 HP, so I'm basically hanging on to this staff, and this being a raw piece of the weave, I'm gonna use it as my what is it called? Artifact of casting with.
Yeah, your arcane focus.
Yeah. And I am going to try to cast a
Please
shield
don't
of
tell me.
protection in
Oh.
front of Pumpkin. Talk about these Halo light shields or a light bridge, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. So, a bubble of protection, more or less, around him?
Similar to the spell Bubble of Protection, except I feel like that's a little too advanced, so it's just going to be a flat plane.
Interesting. So, you're stabbing the staff into the ground, trying in your head to think of, a wall of force, more or less, protecting Pumpkin from the dragon.
Basically, it'll
You need
go
to
right in front of the dragon's face and between Pumpkin and it.
Can you summon a
So you want the dragon to
magical
smash
stro-
into a magical wall, basically.
Can you summon a magical strawberry?
I could, but that's already what you are.
Okay.
I'm not magical.
Interesting.
Ah. disconnect the
As
magic.
you initially stab this staff into the ground, you feel
Oh,
it.
can I be inspired, by the way?
No,
So you want advantage on the
you can use your
D100
inspiration.
roll more or less, like the chaos that's going to happen. Sure, I'll have you roll Arcana to just attempt to pull off this crazy thing, and you can use your advantage or use your inspiration to give you advantage on this.
Okay.
Yeah, just let me know how that goes. Make sure you mark that the inspiration is gone. As you take your more or less staff formed from the weave itself, that's like congealed magic, more or less. You stab this kind of lighter than its proper weight glass staff into the stone ground, and immediately as it makes contact and is forcefully shoved into the ground kind of shatters outward, like a small kind of earthquake,
That's
spreading
pretty freaky.
outward, and you see those cracks fill with a black necrotic substance, kind of like a oozing black blood that expands outward along these cracks as they expand about 10 feet around you. You would imagine that if you had done this on a creature, it would have done quite a bit of additional damage, but as it is, it just kind of, your attack on the ground more or less just damaged the ground. You do see a spark at the top of the staff as you're trying to cast additional magic just by like affecting the weave. What did you get on your arcane roll as you're trying to
I
like
get-
visualize
it's 18 plus, what's my modifier? Can you see what it is?
your arcana modifier? It's a
Yeah.
+3.
Okay.
Yikes,
Okay.
that's a 21. But I would say that, it's too difficult to do. It's so even though you've got a high number.
Don't doubt yourself. You're the DM. Go for it.
Yeah, I would have said that this is a DC 25 or even perhaps 30 type of thing. So a 21 is good, but not good enough. So you do manage to create another magical effect, but at the unpracticed level you have with both this staff and your powers in general, go ahead and roll me a D100. We'll see what else
Okay.
happens.
So I got 97.
97. Okay.
Do-do-do.
Whoa.
Instead, she creates a nuke and blows up everyone.
Huh. Okay. So, ironically enough, that still does a shield spell, more or less, around you. Like, it
What?
creates a small bubble in that same 10-foot cracked ground radius. There's a small, very faint, shimmering kind of silver bubble around you at this point. Not around Pumpkin, unfortunately. And it seems to be playing like a faint, ethereal kind of music in that small area. Just very faintly, hard to hear above the collapsing rocks and the shrieks of pain. But yeah,
Now,
you've
for
got
a
like a little
second-
bubble of safety for a moment.
Hey,
For a
Ethan,
second.
quick question.
Yeah.
The more, if I just did this, will I be more likely to be able to recreate it in the future if I've already done it?
With your current level of non-training, I would say probably not. If
Okay.
you spent some time actually trying to work this stuff out or training with your mentor, perhaps. But at the current moment, you just did something. You're not sure what you did or how you did the intricacies of it.
Awesome. Cool to know. Just making
Now-
sure.
Now, for a second, when you were talking about like the crack and then the shield, I thought you were going to say that there's just a small force field around the crack that is formed inside. And I was just gonna be like, oh, some people are gonna stub their toes on that ethereal force field. Oh.
You're so right.
That's funny.
Yeah, okay. So that is your turn, Ananias, unless you'd like to use your movement.
No,
Okay.
I wish to unmove.
Yes.
Unless. No, I'm chilling.
You remain
What
in
I-
your bubble of safety.
What I was going to say after you said that you could hear faint music, I was going to say, hello there, Nero.
Nero? Who's that?
He's the guy who played the fiddle while Rome was burning. Everyone
Oh.
around us is dying. She's sitting there listening to music.
Hey, you're a goldfish swimming around in your fish bowl
I know,
right now.
I was about to say you're the one to talk.
Okay. So we now go to the shadows who, you know, are just gonna attempt to reach out and grab this lady using the few dry stones that have collapsed and made a small bridge for them to get closer. Unfortunately, that is not quite enough for them to reach, and she manages to kind of more or less crawl her way to safety out of their grasp as they, you know, chitter and roar.
I
at
feel
the
like
edges.
everybody else needs a force field. I'm fine.
Everyone does need a force
I'll
field.
be okay.
Yeah, you've got more hit points than either of your companions, I think. The Gohan's just barely out of range of the shadows as well, but they're
And also,
trying to
most
do-
of the damage I can just avoid.
Oh, with the monk stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the shadows are still just kind of writhing in the background, hungrily waiting for an opportunity. Gohan is going to attempt to break free of the fear, and manages to do so. He is going to try to do something similar to you, QZ. He's going to try to get into a position where he thinks the dragon's going to be, and, you know, waiting for an opportunity to get close enough. And you see him, like, kind of get ready and put on a brave, really angry face, like
Go
he's raging or something.
There are shadows there. What are you doing?
He's, yeah.
Yeah.
He might not be making the connection at this point that the platform next to him is not wet, or that
Yeah.
it matters.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I don't think that either me or Gohan have been able to make that connection yet.
Yep. Okay. This lady is, you know, quite injured, but she's gonna turn and attempt to do something at the dragon as it kind of passes above her. Let's see here. What spells does she have? Oh, okay. You see her kind of wave her hands and just kind of send forth a flaming bolt of energy, more or less, that Sparks,
Fire, the best way
and-
to fight a dragon.
well, it's not quite fire. It seems to be infused with some kind of divine sparkles as well, and it just kind of like plows into the dragon's side, coating it with a series of glowing embers and sparkles that kind of make the dragon extremely well lit up and easy to see. Which
So now we have advantage.
exactly. Let's see. Just checking the stats for sure, so I can, you know, properly track what people are supposed to get advantage. Any attack against the target before the end of their next turn has advantage. Yay! Cool. Okay, so yeah, that's her turn. She just kind of scatters sparks across the dragon, and then she kind of limps off to the side to try to join Shadow in the relative cover of the stalagmites he was kind of hiding beside. Shadow, it's not his turn yet, is it? Yeah, first we got to do the ranged spell, or the ranged bowman, who has fallen on his face more or less. But he's going to try to take another arrow and knock it, shooting at the dragon. This one manages to strike true, hitting just under the dragon's wing. Only a pinprick, but you know, damage that adds up nonetheless. And then we have the other lady who's kind of flopping around in the, you know, rock pile and metal. She seems to be extremely injured, and I guess this shadow already used his turn, but another shadow is, you know, encroaching upon her. So yeah, she's just gonna use her turn to try to disentangle herself from the wreckage and see if she can get out of the mess. We're back up to Shadow. Shadow, once again, does not have any ranged weapons, but he does have some spells. he's going to try to use... well, actually, for now, I think he will pull out his mace and just kind of try to chuck it straight at the dragon's face, with a roar of his own, as he tries to, you know, mess with the dragon. The mace flies toward the dragon's face, unfortunately misses, and goes sailing off into the distance, falling into the darkness of the chamber where it is lost. We're now up to the, once again, whooshing of the water, which kind of flows around the chamber. No one seems to be quite in range to be affected by it, except perhaps the poor girl who's already just been beat to death. Let's see. It's a DC. Yep. She's washed over by a wave of water, but as it flows back into the chasm from which it came, it does not pull her along with it. Shadow is also near it, actually, and he also manages to stand his ground. His metal gauntleted feet, or metal armored feet, do not slip. We are up to the dragon once again. The dragon continues to brush its wing across the chamber, this time basically just dashing to do more distance, and he makes it all the way up right past you, Qzith, and as it does, it's gonna try to do an attack against you.
No.
He's gonna try to do a tail whip.
Is it still knocking down rocks?
It is, yes.
Okay.
So yeah, more or less the only options to escape at this point are over here. This one and the stairway back up.
Yeah. That's not what I was worried about.
Yeah. So he's gonna try to attack you, Qzith, and he definitely hits.
I'm gonna spend a key point to dodge.
Sure. Does that like make the attack not hit?
I used my bonus action, or I guess maybe I used it up already. You can spend 1 key point to take a dodge action as a bonus action on your next turn. Wait, no, on your turn. Yeah, not next turn, on your turn. So yeah, it's not my turn. Can't really do it.
Yeah, unfortunately that doesn't work, yeah. So, that is... that is 15 damage, as you are more or less smacked in the face by his tail. And could you roll me a dexterity saving throw to remain on that high vantage point?
Yes. Well, that dice went on the ground. I'll be right back. Alrighty, that is a 26.
Yep, you're good. So you get hit more or less like in the legs
Wait,
area, and
23.
you just
I
kind
can't
of
math.
turn it into a flip and retain your footing as you're just flipped over entirely. The
Okay.
impact still causing you a bit of pain and leaving some dragon blood on you from the injury that the cultist rogue had stabbed into the dragon's tail.
Okay. Are there any rocks falling towards me or anything? Do I have to dodge any rocks?
I'd say that dexterity check was for everything in that particular area.
Okay.
There were rocks falling,
well,
there were...
I was
getting
going
hit.
to ask to use my reaction to deflect one of the rocks, like using deflect missile.
To try to do it at the dragon?
Yes.
I would allow it. You haven't used your reaction for
Okay.
anything?
I mean, it would basically be reduce. So the way that deflect missile works is,
Reduces
if there's
hit
a
points.
missile coming at me, I use my reaction, roll a d10, and if I reduce the damage to 0, then I get to use it as an attack on them.
Okay.
So
So there are a bunch of rocks falling, but I don't know if any of them would do less than 10 damage. Would you like me to roll for rock fall damage more or less, and if it's less than 10, you can deflect it. Otherwise, you're going to take the damage. Otherwise, you could just say
well,
that the
it's
dexterity
it's
dodged
a
it.
D10 plus 9 first off.
For you? Oh, okay. So yeah, maybe that would be worthwhile then.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll see how much this does.
Okay, I'm ready to die.
Okay. That's only 9. So
9? Okay.
the remaining 10, I guess you deflect it
Well,
at the dragon? Is that how
yeah.
it works? Huh.
Yeah, no, I get to if you reduce it to 0, and you have one hand free, I can spend a key point to make a ranged attack. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, sure. For narrative purposes, you get hit by the tail as the, rocks are falling from the ceiling. You
Awesome.
turn your flip into a
Exactly.
kick
I
at
wanted
the
to
rock.
kick it, and I want to use my wings as if to push off, like it was almost instinctual to me,
Mhm.
and to get that extra momentum at it.
Oh, that's freaking awesome.
Kinda
Inspiration,
reminds
good
me of
sir.
Balls of Fury.
Yes.
Okay, so roll your ranged attack against the dragon.
Of course. And it's supposed to act as a monk weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think. I mean, how much damage would a rock do in this case, do you think?
Well, I guess technically there were 10 hit points left that the rock was going to do to you.
Yeah.
Or that you could I'm not sure how this works. I've never played a monk.
Anyway,
I'll be honest.
it's a 12, it's a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
Okay.
And like I said, I don't know what the damage is. I don't know where my monk. It's supposed to act as a monk weapon,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have any stat on how much damage a monk weapon does. So do we want to just call it my unarmed strike?
I think I'll just do it based on you've redirected the rock's direction, so the same falling rock energy that I rather than having you do a weapon attack, I think I'll just do it as the rock has now hit the dragon instead and done
sure.
some damage to it. Probably on its tail more or less, as it's kind of out of the way of the falling rocks for the most part, except for you catching it as it's getting out of range. So, you see this rock, kind of sizable rock, like the size of a bowling ball, more or less, that you've just managed to redirect at high speed directly towards the dragon's tail, and as it connects with just very, 2 vertebrae past the very tip of its tail, you just hear a sickening snap as it seems to break the end of the dragon's tail, and it roars in fury, kind of redirecting its course, and,
Oh, so I
turning.
definitely gonna die next turn. All right.
It seems it's going too fast to fully redirect its course, but it kind of gets off the path that it was traveling along the wall, where it was continually scraping against the wall trying to block off all entrances. It's momentarily been distracted, and it's flying more central to the chamber at this point. Okay, but you do hear the dragon's gurgling stomach gizzard region seeming to reach a crescendo, as though it's charged up its breath once again. We are up to Ananias, I believe, since that was QZ's turn. Wait, was that QZ's turn, or was that the dragon's turn?
That was the dragon's turn. My
Oh.
reaction.
Wow. Okay, cool. What a reaction turn.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so never mind. Mama Swizzle, you are up.
Mama
What are you
Swizzle.
doing down in the depths?
I'd like to search if there's anything that looks like it might be able to kill the dragon.
Anything that might be able to kill the dragon. That's a very loose definition.
Of
I
course,
mean,
like
I
all
wouldn't
dragons,
know what to look for.
like all dragons, they have an Achilles heel that they just like to hoard the weapon that can kill them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like a dragon nuke, like here in case of dragon break glass. So you swim down towards the treasure heap, looking for anything that seems like it would be particularly useful. What you see is, well, a slight bit of, actually maybe less mold or lichen or whatever, more just kind of like slime, just debris, dust, ooze that's kind of coating a lot of the treasure, just from the less than pristine water. But you see quite a few things amidst the piles and piles of coins, both copper and electrum and gold and platinum, even some gold that seems to have a strange color to it, but it's hard to tell in the very dim light. You see magic items as well, or items that you would assume are magical, or perhaps just magical or rare treasures that the dragon has discovered and hoarded from both within this castle and from beyond. Things that catch your eye are the hilt of a sword, but no sword attached to it. It seems to have some symbols etched along the blade, and it's got a crescent moon kind of pommel, almost as though it's related to the kingdom of Lunimus. There's...
That's a light sword.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, sad she's not here. There's a couple of potion vials, but they're, underwater, so it's difficult to tell exactly what's in them. There's a flute, silver flute that appears to, have some, weird runes scratched into the side of it as well.
I'd like to take. Can I take the flute? May I?
Oh no, he's gonna do the snake dance.
Snake. And finally, I would say there's
And to think that I was the dragon racist.
Yeah. Finally, I would say there's a skeletal hand still clinging to a silver pole, more or less. Similar to the flute, but thicker, and it looks like it's got a button on one end of it.
No, that's a stripper.
What?
No, that
He's hanging on a silver pole.
Would you like to still grab the flute?
Yes, I'd like to grab the flute if I can.
Sure. Okay. You.
Being
Well, you're a goldfish
I
right
do
now.
pull.
You how
Yeah,
do you grab
Right.
that with your fins?
mouths.
with my mouth.
How big a goldfish are you? Are you like one of those koi pond ones?
Yeah, about.
Sure.
That's probably the biggest I could be, anyways.
Sure.
Wow,
So
so
you
coy.
you grab the
Technically,
flute.
technically, a goldfish grows to fill the size of whatever container you put it in. So.
Ah. Nice. So yeah, amidst all of the untold treasures you're witnessing, you oh, there's also it's whatever. Maybe you didn't notice, maybe you didn't notice everything while you were down in the murky depths. You swim back up towards the surface with your newfound treasure as you're going. It's difficult to see exactly where on Earth you have just gone.
Hmm?
Gosh, freaking darn it.
But we're not on Earth.
True.
Hmm.
Where the frick have you gone?
You'll never know.
There you are. Okay, just so I can access you. That's where you're going to be for now. Cool. Okay, everybody else. What, it's QZ's turn next, right?
Supposedly.
Yep,
It's
QZ,
not like I was keeping track.
you're next. What would you like to do?
I mean,
You me.
I wish that I had a way to heal myself. That would be cool. I'd like to kind of like limp my way down through that rubble from where I was on, kind of searching to see if perhaps my javelin fell from
Oh no, it's still stabbed into the side of the dragon.
still stabbed in. Okay.
Yep, like on the side right here. Oh, I know you can't see
Yeah,
it.
I just like to limp my way down.
Okay.
And I think I'll like rush towards Gohan.
Mm-hmm.
Try and assist him.
Okay. Yeah, with your 40 feet of movement, I'd say you could end up about there. Unless you want to dash, in which case you could get farther.
I mean, I don't want to dash.
Okay.
Not going to spend any points on that, but also it is 35 movement, not 40.
Oh, okay. My bad. Cool. Anything else?
Nah.
Okay. Ananias, you're up. You're currently shrouded in a slightly musical, shieldy bubble.
Nice. I'm feeling pretty musical right about now. Let me look to see what my options are. I was thinking about it and then I forgot what I wanted to do because y'all were too interesting. I wish to...
I wish to do that too.
Well, I'm just singing the noise that's playing through my music.
Well, EJ likes singing, so why can't he want to do that?
Yeah, no,
She's stuck on a feeling.
that's the noise that my little shield's making. I guess I'm just gonna
Oh, I thought
Eldritch
your
Blast him again if I can.
Sure.
Nice. I thought that your shield was making the background noise that's happening right now.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Combat.
Could be.
Yeah.
No, it's canon.
So I
The
roll
music's playing now.
Oh, I rolled
Exactly.
2 d20s. Find out if they hit.
Yes, for the Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I rolled a nat 1 on one of them. The other one, let's see. 14?
Okay. 14 does not hit the dragon, unfortunately. So,
But I have to add the modifier, right? Is there a modifier? Or no?
yes, there is actually. The
It's plus
spellcasting
5, right?
mod. Yep. So that is a 19 total
Yeah.
then, right?
Okay, yeah, but 1 is a nat 1, so I guess I'm gonna get hurt.
Not necessarily. Your beam goes flying and hits the roof and contributes to what the dragon was doing, as you basically, it goes right past the dragon, hits the ceiling, and causes, contributes to the collapsing that the dragon was trying to do, blocking off yet more of the exit. It doesn't completely block off this exit over here, but it makes it, much more difficult to easily escape through, because there's now a big pile of unstable rocks covering more or less this chamber, but it doesn't completely cut off the entire, all the way up to the roof. Yeah, and then the 19 does hit though. So,
Okay.
go ahead and roll your damage on that.
I got a 9 plus anything or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, just 9 then.
Okay, yep, you hit the dragon squarely in the cheek, and its head kind of flops back to the side, so even as it was trying to like rotate direction farther to its left, you smack it in the side of its head and make it turn back to the right again. So just completely ruining its flight path. So much
Ooh.
that I can't even control the dragon right now, apparently. That's fun.
Dang, I'm pretty slow.
We are now up to... One second. I marked on your character sheet that your inspiration's gone, Ananias, by the way. 'Cause
Thank
didn't
you.
do it yourself. Let's see. And did you mark QZ that you have it?
Yes, I did.
Good.
Because I know how to click a button.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't showing up. That's probably because the page doesn't show me updates unless I reload the page. That's unfortunate,
Yes.
but oh well.
That is the thing.
Oh well. Anyway, did you have anything else you wanted to do on your turn, Ananias, moving wise or anything?
No, I don't, but I also did click the button too, so I don't know why it didn't go through.
Well,
I
no, he
don't
probably
know.
just didn't refresh the page.
Well, I did refresh the page before I said something about it. It
Gasp.
looked like it was still there.
Legats?
Anyway,
Maybe I did not refresh my page.
I have
What?
no idea.
I don't think that would be needed.
Oh, by the way, Ananias, I don't know if you remember, but your hands are still invisible, which doesn't technically affect anything right now. But from the magical effect that you caused when you like blew up the ceiling and fell into this chamber. It kind of triggered a bunch of different magical effects, one of which, you know, kind of damaged your hands, caused them to be bleeding a little bit, but they're currently invisible, and they're just staying invisible as
So
you're
it's
doing all
like
this stuff.
wither damage. You can't see it.
Kind of. So, we're back up to the shadows. Well, one of which is probably going to try to attack Gohan here. We will see how well that goes for him.
As
Well,
I'm
stop
running
being
towards
smart.
Gohan, I'm just like, oh, stupid shadows just behind you. Stop paying attention to the dragon for like 1 second.
Yeah, one of them, like, right as Gohan's preparing to use his glaive and, like, stab it at the dragon, who's now barreling towards him almost in a downward path, like it's about to kind of crash land, the shadow just kind of, like, envelops his entire head and kind of sends him into a distracted stupor, more or less falling over with the shadow kind of attacking his head. And, yeah, he's, like, completely distracted as they both fall to the, you know, briny floor. The other person who's actually in danger of the shadows, I believe, is the person in the cage who was blocked from escaping. The shadow attempts to, you know, attack her, and somehow manages to miss, like kind of going right over her as she is attempting to escape. She limps her way out, only one dagger in her hand, the other one apparently being lost. And yeah, this other one is probably going to attack her too.
I love the image of like all the shadows just like watching her limp away as they like slowly like kind of just like bat at her, just like
Yeah, against all odds, she manages to escape. She looks extremely injured and she's limping severely, but she's alive, barely. And the shadows both miss her as she, you know, she escapes them.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know how. The dice are not on the shadow side, it seems. This dude, you know, as always, pulls out his bow, but does he have a line of sight at this moment to shoot at that dragon? Yeah, I would say probably. Yeah, if not, he can always move. So he'll kind of move a little bit to try to get a clear shot at the dragon, and then once again, one trick pony. He shoots an arrow across the chamber, attempting to hit the dragon, and another little pinprick in the side of the dragon's neck. And it's already roaring in anger, so it doesn't change anything about that. Let's see. Move on to Shadow, who has lost his, you know, subsidiary weapon, and he's going to... I don't know what he's gonna do. He's gonna activate some kind of spell and, you know, hold out his shield, which is now glowing with a bit of magic, as he waits for a good opportunity. He's also noticing that the dragon's more or less crouching, so he's going to kind of move up a bit past the water, and he's going to try to stay far enough away where he won't get washed away by the flood. And that's his turn. The water, once again, washes over everything. This lady is... oh, she didn't get a turn yet.
Blue splash, we were taking a bath.
Oh yeah, I forgot all attacks against the dragon should have had advantage here, which was only actually 1, but he already hit, so it didn't change.
Yay.
Cool. So she's going to...
Well, roll it again just in case it was a 20.
I did.
Oh, okay,
It
cool.
wasn't.
That figures.
Yeah. She, I don't know what to do with her. She's injured. She's just going to move slightly over so that she's not going to get caught by the flood. Well, yeah, maybe she'll get closer as well. And she'll try to do the same thing to avoid the flood. That is all of their turns. The dragon's turn is up again. He's going to more or less plow into the ground. Let me disable flying. Stop. Twirling dragon. So yeah, he just kind of crashes into the stairs here and comes to a stop. Landed once again, and well, with Gohan right in his way, he's just gonna, with a growling roar, try to bite at him, like clamping his jaws down right over, over top of his abdomen as he's laying down on the ground with a shadow already, swarming over him. Unfortunately, wow, the dragon.
And I'm just
did not roll too
standing there
well.
watching, unable to do anything.
Yeah, trapped like a dream. In slow motion. So the dragon like reaches down with his massive jaw and just manages to clip the side of this barrel, which kind of gets crushed in its enormous jaws, but it protects Gohan just enough to roll to the side into the drink with the shadow, and the shadow immediately dissolves into nothing.
I saw that! I know now!
A stain of water, of black in the water as it is washed away.
QZ has
into
gained
nothing.
knowledge.
Yep.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Dude. Good stuff. Okay. That is not the full dragon's turn though, because it has multi-attack.
Oh, fun.
It looks to the side and sees you approaching QZ, and
I smile at it.
it decides to still go after Gohan once again. It steps.
Smile!
Let's see. First, it uses its tail to slam into the doorway here, behind it. This poor Shadow is just gonna get buried again. He smashes into that final door out of the chamber, and the doorway kind of collapses around it, making the wooden door unable to be opened, but not completely burying the door 100%. And then the dragon will use its final action to... Ooh. Let me see here. I don't think he sees Mama Swizzle. Let's see here. He's gonna use his breath weapon to try to get Gohan and Ananias in his acid breath. A line 60 feet long of acid just pours from its cavernous maw in a disgusting display of bile and ooze rocketing forth and enveloping the water in which Gohan is more or less laying down. So thankfully he's kind of got it diluted from what its normal damage would be. And Ananias has a little bit of a shield, bubble kind of surrounding them. But either way, could I still have you make a dexterity saving throw, Ananias? Just for mechanical purposes?
Yeah, I'm making the turn.
Stop eating your microphone and repeat that.
17 plus whatever my dex is. Also, I'm not eating my microphone.
Okay. Yeah, I'd
Then
say...
start eating your microphone.
Yeah, I'd say you're good. The dragon's breath kind of washes over your little bubble, and it kind of like parts like the Red Sea around you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It just doesn't hurt you at all, as it is diverted around you. That is the dragon's turn. Mama Swizzle, you're up. You surface at the top of the water with a flute in your mouth as a fish. What would you like to do?
Do I see any of my allies near the water?
Gohan is in the water right in front of you. Nobody else
That's
appears.
also right next to the dragon too, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
You just see the dragon like envelop the area with black acid.
Oh, there's no one
Swim
else near the
away.
water.
Swim away.
Ananias is right beside the water, right beside you, but not in the water.
Okay. I'd like to swim up to Ananias and try to catch her attention with the flute.
Okay, Ananias.
Why don't you just throw the flute at her?
What are you doing?
I'm whistling the flute at you, trying to get you to take it, to know I want you to
Perception.
take it.
Okay, I pick it up and I blow into it hard.
Interesting. Okay, 1 second.
What have you done, Mama Susan?
Good question.
We're trying. You're trying to become a bard right now. First you have your shield that sings. Now you have the flute. One of us is gonna have to get bardic inspiration from this. Clearly.
Interesting.
Our inspiration, we seduced the dragon.
Oh no! The flute lets out a clear, singular, solid tone
It goes.
that seems to vibrate and emanate with the room around you. You don't notice any movement in the area immediately around you, but you do hear faintly the sounds of like a door kind of creaking open somewhere.
The gonk droid.
And that is all the only thing that happens as a result of the
Cool.
note. Okay.
That's all I do.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Okay. QZ, you're up. Gohan's in the drink, kind of trying to right himself and
Yes.
wash off the acid.
Yeah, I'm
The dragon is
going to
grounded.
help. My goal is to help Gohan, but first I want to distract the dragon. So I'm going to run up to the dragon. Where is my javelin lodged into it again? It was like
It's like right here in its side, underneath its wing.
yeah, inside.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to run up, grab the javelin, pull it out, and
Mhm.
start just stabbing it. I will be using Fury of Blows.
Okay. Flurry of blows. Does that work with a weapon as well?
Yeah, it's
Probably.
any monk.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll say you can do that. You get it right up in its range, grab the javelin, and then either dig it in or stab once again. Go ahead and roll me your attacks.
Yes. I need to first off repossess my javelin. Ugh, we
Mm.
love D&D stuff,
Hmm.
Beyond stuff. Now I have a javelin again. Whoa, magic.
Yay!
The first one I rolled was a 5.
Oh no.
It's +7 though, so
Mhm.
12.
That's
12.
armor class
12
is
to hit.
18, unfortunately.
Okay. Now am I actually able to use Fury of Blows? Let me actually see. After you take an attack action on your turn, you can spend 1 key point to make 2 unarmed strikes. Oh, okay, so it have to be unarmed strikes for Fury of Blow
Ah,
as a bonus action. That's sad, actually.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Super nerfed.
Yeah, monks are.
No, yeah,
They're
definitely
already
one of the
powerful.
weakest classes.
Yeah, the higher
Definitely one of the
Definitely.
weak
the higher
classes.
level you get, the more they're like, man, everyone else is doing this cool stuff, and all I'm doing is punch
Yeah,
them.
fighters and yeah, fighters are way better.
Yeah.
Um,
If you ever want to switch classes, let me know. We can have our
no. Currently I've done the most damage to the dragon. So I'm
That is true.
clearly better than all of us.
There have not been very many attacks on the dragon yet.
Actually, maybe Ananias has done more.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember. I just track who
I-
it is damaged, not who damaged it.
I'll still use the Fury of Blows though. So like I'll pull out the javelin
Mhm.
and kind of like hang on to it.
Yeah. Or you could just drop
because,
it. So free up your hands
Maybe I
quicker.
pull it out and like it slips out of my hands or something.
Mhm.
And then like instead I'll just kind of like claw at it. I'll use my claws and stuff.
Yeah, maybe with your first attack, since it didn't hit, maybe the dragon like turned its head and like kind of grabbed it in its teeth and knocked it to the side, leaving you
Whatever
with only
you
your fists.
want to storytell.
It's still on the ground
Um,
beside you, either way.
Anyway, this time it is a 19 to hit for
Nice.
Fury of Blow.
You punch the dragon.
I actually punch it twice.
You punch the dragon twice. So wait, both fists counts as one attack?
No. So with Fury of Blows, I make 2 unarmed strikes
Oh.
as a bonus action. Yeah. and that I'm pretty sure that increases with every single level. So eventually I'll be able to do 3 unarmed strikes and 4.
I would assume you still need to roll for each one, though, right?
Yeah, probably.
Because each one counts as an unarmed strike.
Yeah, no, you're probably right there. Oh no, the 7 plus 7, 14 probably doesn't hit the second one.
Yeah, unfortunately not. How much damage was the first one?
I will figure that out, won't I? 3. 7.
Nice. Working him down. Cool. Okay.
Whittle him away. Some
And a
secret
nice.
place.
Your turn, Ananias?
Yes, I Eldritch Blast him.
You don't have any other spells or anything interesting to do?
I could do interesting things. Okay.
I'm interesting, I promise.
I'm sorry, I mean, you can do whatever you want to. I was just wondering, like, you don't have
I'm
any
just setting the
other-
bar high as a monk because here's the thing. When you're a spellcaster, just use your spells. When you're a monk, though, when you're a fighter, you gotta come up with other stuff.
Yeah.
And also,
I-
raise just often
I
isn't a
could
bad
try to charm him.
Yeah, unfortunately that's charm person, though. This would be not a person.
Okay, can we transfigurate the dragon into a person?
It just says
and then
creatures
charm
to
it?
be. Oh, it needs to be a humanoid. You're right.
Transfigurate the dragon into a dragonborn, and then charm
Polymorph.
person it.
You can always polymorph it into a worm.
All right. Am I close to any of the shadow creatures?
Yeah, you're within 60 feet of a couple of them.
Can I become within 30 feet of a couple of them?
Yep.
I become within 30 feet of a couple of them, and I use my my magic to seize the air and compel it to create a blast of air that moves an object, and the object that it moves is the water, and I splash the creatures with it.
Interesting.
Using gust.
Which spell is this?
Gust.
Gust. You seize the
I'm
air and compel it to move one object that is neither held nor carried, and that weighs no more than 5 pounds. Interesting. Yeah, I would say that you could get a small spray of water, as long as it weighs no more than 5 pounds. Sure. So you just kind of want to send a small spray of water at the shadow, or maybe both
Why
the
is
shadows.
this is very sad.
What'd you say?
Let me think. I'm thinking.
Okay.
Okay, I have decided to attempt to dancing lights them.
That's gonna work.
Dancing lights them. You create 4 lights.
I want to create lights in the center of them. Like,
Interesting.
in each of them.
Interesting. Sure. Okay. You 4 lights just appear, kind of enveloped within the shadowy creatures. They, look down and seem surprised, but they do not seem to be harmed by the light now emanating from their stomachs. They're just like Teletubbies now, or something.
They are cute. Cool, that's all I want to do.
Okay. Alrighty. With that, we move on to the shadows once again. The Teletubby ones do not take any abnormal action as a result of the... actually, maybe one of them does. Maybe one of them will be like attempting to, get the light out of it. It'll try to like claw at its stomach and then move to the side, realizing that the light did not follow it. So he's more happy now. There is one shadow, however, that has the crown or horns or whatever it was that was the headdress of the shadow that was kind of the leader of the group from the main chamber, that had been injured by Ananias' attack, and that shadow now kind of emerges, still rather injured. It emerges from a crack in the walls to the side. I'm going to use this one to represent him just because it's here, but I was going to make a new one. We'll just use this one to represent him. He kind of crawls out of the woodwork and looks around and begins to wave his like little shadowy arms. Qzeth, you suddenly... Well, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Wait, that is not a 20. Sorry. Oh, nice. 19 plus 4.
Nice.
So,
you feel an
23.
invisible force try to grab your wings and like pull you down to the ground, like trying to hold you in place, but you fight it off and turn to see the shadowy creature kind of waving its arms and with narrowed eyes just glaring at you as it begins
Can
to
I spit on it?
attempt to do something else. Maybe not from
Can
this
I
distance.
spit on it for a free action?
So I believe at this point nobody is in range for the shadows to do anything, so they're just going to continue patrolling around the edges of the room. Gohan is going to emerge from the water and just charge straight up to the dragon and try to stab it in the face with its glaive, with his glaive. Yeah, the dragon's distracted by you, so he does manage to dig his glaive into the side of the dragon, who roars in fury and beats his wings immediately, trying to kind of blow you and Gohan away from it. 1 second here. Could you make me a DC 19 dexterity saving throw?
Deck. Oh. Okay, that's a 21 total.
Okay.
Wait, saving throw even more than that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it passed
So yeah,
already.
the dragon beats its wings, like trying to, both with the wind and the physical bonking, trying to knock you over and away from it. You manage to hold your ground and stay exactly where you are, even as the dragon more or less takes off from the ground, and Gohan gets knocked down to the ground and falls on his back, but the dragon kind of skitters / flies away a little bit.
Have I
coming towards-
regained my javelin officially? I know it like
Yes,
pulled
it'll-
it from my hand.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the ground, but you can easily pick it up and use it. If you'd like to take an opportunity attack as the dragon
Yeah, I
leaves your
would
range,
like to take an opportunity attack, but I probably can't use the javelin for it.
probably not.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the opportunity attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a normal attack, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
A 20 to hit.
20 to hit. Yep, that hits. How much damage?
Okey-dokey. That would be, where's the 6? Nice. A 9 damage.
Cool. So, yeah, you managed to punch the dragon's already broken tail where you still see a dagger kind of dug into the end of its tail, where apparently Vextra had left it and lost track of it when she fell. It's still dug into the back of the dragon's tail, and you just punch that, causing it to split the dragon's end of its tail still further. The dragon roars in fury, but with no words, just hatred. And it moves towards Ananias and the bowman, who keeps annoying everyone with his arrows, and towards Mama Swizzle, who... Did you transform into something else, or did you remain a
I'm
fish?
still a goldfish.
You're a fish still? Okay. So, the person, Abigail, the maid, where is she? Somewhere in
The
here.
Abigail.
She sees that Gohan is hurt, and she's going to... Let's see here. Oh, does she have range? Or does she just have non-ranged healing? I think she only has non-ranged healing. Well, she's gonna use all her movement to get to Gohan and just kind of she can't quite get there. She'll just hang out here for a second. Just like real close, but not quite there. Yup. Actually, yeah. She'll dash and make it to Gohan, but then she doesn't have her action to do any healing. The rogue over here is going to take out her remaining dagger, draw another one from her belt, and just try to chuck it at the dragon. Let's see. She fails miserably. The dagger goes flying, sailing over its head, and clinks against the stones in the far distance, getting buried under a pile of rocks.
Oh, there she fell so miserably.
She will then move closer to her allies here to try to gang up without being in direct line of sight of potential dragon breath. The guy with the bow sees that he's, more or less getting targeted by the dragon, and he's going to try to run just behind this cover as well, while taking a pot shot at the dragon with his bow. He does manage to hit again, but once again it's just a small little arrow nicking the shoulder of the dragon, who barely seems to pay it any mind. Cool. The dragon does appear to be getting, quite injured though, as a result of all these injuries adding up. There's a bit of blood kind of leaking down its sides, and some across its face as well. But its eyes grow more and more rageful as each attack lands. Let's see. Shadow's gonna dash as well on foot, seeing as the dragon is not airborne, and he's gonna try to get behind the dragon, ready for his next turn. That is all he can do.
That's all she wrote, folks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once again, the water kind of causes a whelming flood. Ananias, you are near enough to be kind of moved around by this water. Could you make me a DC 16?
How big is this?
Oh, DC 15 strength saving throw.
How big is this wave?
I mean, it's not like a tidal wave, but it's think like at the beach. It's a wave big enough to kind of like push you around a bit.
I'm 6 foot tall, so how big is this wave?
I can't calculate the exact dimensions of it. It's just more or less the water rushes forward and then kind of falls back down again.
Oh, cool. Does it hit any of the little guys around me?
No.
Rip. That's very sad. Okay, what does DC mean?
That's the number you need to roll to pass the check. It's like the difficulty curve or something.
Okay.
So 15 is the number. DC is 15 strength saving throw.
I cannot add anything to it.
I can't hear you right now. Your mic is doing...
Add anything to it?
Can you add anything to it? Yes, it's a strength saving throw. So whatever your character sheet says under the saving throw zone. I think yours is a +2.
Okay, 9 plus 2, I do not get saved.
Okay, so yeah, you just get knocked prone and pulled into the water a little bit, which in this particular case, the water is very, a very thin kind of crack in the rock, so it just kind of pulls you a little bit towards Mama Swizzle, lying on your back. Makes you an easier target, though, for a dragon to kind of nibble at your belly. So, that is all of everyone's turn, I believe. And the dragon is up again, unfortunately, and now he's looking right down at Ananias, who still has a slight shield type thing around them. But as the dragon immediately kind of tries to bite with its jaws around the force field of protection, it kind of snaps and shatters into pieces, blocking the attack but removing the shield from its existence. It is then going to try to attack once more, biting at Ananias. This is a... let's see... What's your armor class? 14. Yes, this hits. So, Ananias, you take...
I'm already prone, so what happens?
He gets advantage on his attack, and... Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me, actually. Wasn't a nat 20, you're good. You take 21 points of piercing damage as the dragon sinks its teeth into you once again. And you're already at 5 HP, so yeah, you're unconscious once again. It's also going to make a tail attack at Shadow. And it got a nat 1.
He doesn't see the little koi fish.
He does not. So yeah, his tail just kind of slams into the rocks near Shadow, but it just digs the dagger in deeper, causing the dragon to roar in pain as it deals more damage to itself, blood splattering off of the end of its tail. And yeah, it notices that, you know, Ananias is down, so it turns its attention elsewhere, but gives a cruel smirk, and turns to its more pressing enemies. We are now up to, I believe, Mama Swizzle? Mama Swizzle, you're up.
Am I sure that the dragon's not paying attention to me?
Well, you see its head kind of like pass right over you as it looks around at everything else. I think, actually... Oh. He uses a legendary action to do a perception check to see if he does notice you and gets a nat 20. So yeah, his eyes immediately lock onto you, and in his draconic attention to detail, his glowing orange eyes immediately focus in on your little goldfish form, noticing that wildlife doesn't normally hang out in this particular chamber.
Nice spit in his eye.
If you'd like, or I mean, that would be your action, or you could heal your
I want to
ally.
spit in his eye. I want to spit in his eye.
If speaking is a free action, spitting should be as well.
Sure, you can spit in his eye for free. Go ahead and roll me, Dex.
All right. Not one, so yeah.
You just... It just like goes a foot out of the water and just lands on the stones. But the dragon definitely notices you, finds it odd, but doesn't see the need to attack you right now, but he's definitely intrigued by your presence, even as he turns his head back towards the, you know, the guy with a bow hiding behind a rock, because he's more interested in murdering everyone than finishing off a goldfish right now. So what would you like to do for your actual turn, Mama Swizzle?
Oh, man. I want to save Ananias, but if I transform back now, I'll be his next target.
Maybe.
Transforming back, is that a action?
No.
Okay. I'll transform back, and I'd like to do Cure Wounds.
Okay.
1d8.
You lay your hand on Ananias, and you feel magic surge through your hand and into Ananias' body, and heal her for...
I heal her for 8 points.
8 points. Ananias, you're back up.
Oh, there's a +4, sorry. 8 + 4.
Oh, cool. So 12.
I look up to see Ananias. I mean,
No,
I see Mama Swizzle. I'm a little disoriented. I place my hand on her shoulder and pat it and say, I owe you 1, or 2, or 3.
Mama Swizzle. She just pats you back on the shoulder and try to help you get up.
I'll allow it. The dragon hears this conversation and kind of takes a brief glance, noticing that Ananias has been brought back up when he could have sworn that she was just down. And he goes, "Ah, a healer!"
She's shaking her head as if she doesn't know anything.
He's gonna use a legendary action to take a turn off, like not even with his turn, like a
Again?
attack. Yes, he can do this, where he just takes an attack without it even being his turn. He's gonna do that to immediately try to do a tail whip attack at Mama Swizzle.
Oh gosh.
Does
16 is my armor.
does a 21 hit? Yeah.
Definitely 21 hits.
Yeah, I'll say. Wait, are you still a gold? No, you're not. You're just a
No.
bird at this point.
I am back to my bird brain self.
Yeah, okay. I'll say he tries to whip you from the opposite direction, then would make sense. Like, instead of smashing you into the pool of water where you can escape him, he's gonna try to swat you, like, by turning this direction, and tries to knock you into the wall here with the shadows.
Oh, fun.
Yep. So you just kind of like bonk into the wall here. No additional, fall damage or anything. But he moves you away from your friend and does 10 damage to you.
I'm down to 3 health.
Yikes! Okay. Do you have anything else you can do with your turn, Mama Swizzle?
I don't think so.
Okay. QZeth, you're up.
Yay.
Yay.
Okie dokie. So,
How to choke it.
I would like to, because I was on higher up on the ledge, right?
Yeah, you're up there.
Yeah, you were just moving me, so I didn't know if I was.
Yeah, I accidentally.
I'd like
knocked you
to kind of like jump down, from the ledge
Mhm.
and tell the two of them go on in the mage lady,
down.
right?
Yeah, she's a cleric.
Cleric. I'd like to tell them to get to the exit that's behind us, start clearing out the rubble, and wait for a path, and then I'll try and round up everybody else. I guess I could say it in character. Get to the exit over behind the stairs over there. The dragon, it knocked rocks in front of it, but you should be able to clear a path. I'll gather everybody else and we'll get out of this place.
She nods wordlessly to you. She seems to be kind of clutching her side as though she's injured as well. And you see like black marks where she was touched by the shadows, which also seems to be kind of like oozing into her veins and spreading throughout her body.
I should also say to them, and it looks like water hurts those shadow things. Just keep that in mind.
Mhm.
And I'd like to... Where's the dragon relative
He
to
wants
me?
to do a tap dance on the dragon.
He's ahead of you by about 60 feet-ish.
Okay.
Or maybe 70.
With javelin in hand, I would like to run towards the dragon, dash towards it. How close can I get to it?
You could get right up to it with your dash.
Okay. Well, I'd like to kind of like dash up like the rock face a little bit as well.
Okay. One dex check, please.
Possible. Yes.
I'd say DC 13. Not too difficult.
13 might be a little bit too difficult.
That's 13. It's barely above 10. You have been having some pretty bad rolls, though.
No, it's been off and on. It's been off and on, man. I
Mhm.
rolled a 9.
no.
But wait. Oh, it's +4. 13 exactly.
Hey, you're good. It's a little slippery with the briny rocks, but yeah, you make it up there.
Yeah. Okay. And I would like to stab at the dragon.
Mm-hmm. With the javelin.
Yes, with the
Yep.
javelin.
Go ahead. Roll to hit.
17.
Your javelin just kind of like clinks off its scales and kind of slides off. You were just barely off balance as a result of the kind of iffy landing.
Actually, I'm
And-
gonna use my inspiration. I don't care.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and reroll. Did it go even worse?
No. But it was only better by 1, so it's 18.
That hits. That's the dragon's AC.
Oh yeah, it was. I thought it was 19.
Nope. Dragon's
Okay.
AC is 18. So yeah, that hits. You manage to. It first slides almost off of its body, sliding along the scales, and you're like, no! And jab it right between the leg and the soft underbelly, and manage to puncture it. Roll for damage.
Nice. Ooh, nice. That's 9 damage. I've been rolling
Nice.
a lot of 5s and 3s on this d6 here.
Mm-hmm. And with that, the dragon appears to be bloodied.
Oh, actually, as well. Oh, wow, that's actually really impressive. I would like to try and. Where's my thing? Where's this thing that I'm thinking of? Yes, I'd like to have that be a stunning strike. So I'm gonna spend a key point,
Mhm.
and it has to succeed in a con saving throw of 15,
Sure.
or else it is stunned.
15, you said?
15, yeah. So it's pretty easy.
Rolled
but, you know.
exactly that.
Well, it's only fair.
Mm. It is a dragon. Also, it has legendary resistances where it can basically say if it fails such a saving throw, it can instead choose to succeed. So it could burn one of those if it wanted to.
Well, we'll need to work through those eventually if we're gonna kill this thing. So.
Only if you use effects that force it to do saving throws, which so far it hasn't needed to do.
We might do more of those, maybe. You don't know.
Well, it is 7 o'clock. Kat, do you need to go rock climbing or something?
I mean, you have somewhere that you need to be. I have an exam that I need to take, so even if she doesn't, we can just end it
Yes,
anyway.
I do.
Okay.
Is it okay if
Well.
we head out?
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, the dragon will still be here when we get back next time. 2 weeks from now. Oh, it's gotta be 2 weeks. It's so long. But remember what
Well,
we're doing.
eventually we'll get to have light back, so
That's true.
Yeah, the
Eventually.
longer we take to actually play, the sooner light will be back in the game.
Very true. We got a nice fancy sword waiting for her at the bottom of this pond, assuming you don't all flee before the dragon dies.
Wow, way to tell us.
Well, Ray already talked about it.
Yeah, rated.
Alright, well, we'll fade out on this. Thank you all for
Yeah.
playing this episode of Dungeons and Dragons with an actual dungeon and an actual dragon. I'm so excited. See you guys all next time.
Yeah.
Hee hee.
All right. See you.
Thanks for playing, it was real fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out, take that exam.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Good luck. Don't fail.